personal burnout.
People from being proactive become being reactive. I have learned my lessons.
So this is the reason why Meloria have developed diagnostic test.
My mission is not only to be an entrepreneur. Every one of us have our own way to achieve things. To understand anyone else, the best way is to ask the questions.
The head up needs to be clear, transparent, see the goal.
Not everything is measurable.
Within 1 month, I cannot prove to the company that Wellbeing actually started to work. We actually participated in hackathon. Tell
Exactly.
what you're expecting
Exactly.
from people. Hi everyone, welcome to our podcast. We are talking again about well-being, and we have special guest today, Ingars. And I would like you, Ingars, to introduce yourself, please.
Hi, my name is Ingars Zagorskis. I'm Latvian from Latvia with a few experience outside Latvia in companies management, and happy to discuss with you topics about well-being.
So Ingars, who are you? How would you identify yourself?
I would say I'm an entrepreneur. My experience is related with different companies management. In the beginning of my career, I was in marketing, so being a head of marketing in fintech companies. Then my career turned to a CEO position in a fintech where I was also a co-founder. So that was experience where I moved to Asia and got some experience there with the different social environment, and so that was a very interesting experience. And then from fintechs, I moved to more production direction. So I was a co-founder also for a marketplace for packaging. So that was another very interesting experience as entrepreneur. And now I'm in a wood industry, thermally modified wood. So I'm helping to develop a production company here in Latvia.
Fantastic. That's very clear. So, entrepreneur, yeah?
Yep.
We could say that. And again, we start with a common first question. How do you think, where does burnout have the biggest impact on the business?
I would say it's complex kind of impact. And the first place where I would say that I see kind of result or impact is decision making. So in a team, you can see that people from being proactive become being reactive, which cause a lot of, I wouldn't say the damage immediately, but results which brings some damage to the company. So I would say, that like this involvement in a processes and in idea generation, generating ideas, sacrifice, and one place where I see it. And another would be execution of different tasks. So and the most seen result is missed deadlines, which haven't been missed before, but start to becoming more and more often. So you see again this like involvement from a team, and this willingness to finish things and deadlines decreases. Also mistakes, which can cause, and as I'm in production right now, even small mistakes in production can cause big losses for the company. So that's also significant aspect where this kind of like burnout can generate losses. So I would say actually like in many different aspects of the company, it can cause damage or negative result. Yeah, exactly.
But let's go back to you as a person, because before we started the podcast, we spoke about your personal burnout. How did you look at this? How have you noticed that it's burnout?
I would say I didn't even notice it in the very beginning, and even in like I would say in the middle of the process, and didn't notice maybe wouldn't be the correct.
Have not realized.
Yes, and I would say even like I was not ready to admit that it's a burnout or I have some issues. So I was still trying to perform, and although all the aspects which I just kind of described and many others showed other tendencies. I would wish that in a team maybe someone would recognize my kind of like performance issues and would address them to me.
But that did not happen.
Did not happen, yes. So that's why it's also like I think very important aspects to be able notice in a team and someone you see you feel that someone is not performing or there's some kind of showing signs that could that person is going to some burnout direction, and so I didn't manage it on early stages, and that's why it was heavier for me. The circumstances also were heavier, so I needed to take 1 year out of any kind of performance. So I have learned my lessons, and now I can much earlier see in myself, but also in others, like and to be more empathic to such people that you know what it means, and you have been in this situation, and it's like you really can recognize it, and you can just like hey, like tell your story.
So this is the reason why Meloria have developed diagnostic test, and we implemented it at the very first part of diagnostic. So every single person who doesn't know, doesn't think, is not aware, can lead to this testing. And on a scale of green and fantastic to the red, please take 3 weeks of holidays. This platform helps you to diagnose. Yeah, this is the reason why we have implemented
that. That's super awesome, actually. Yeah.
So what is your experience with well-being? How do you perceive it? Yeah.
In a company's
Myself.
As I just shared with you, I have been in some lows. So right now I address a lot it to myself and also like to others around me. So, and that's the good part, I believe, is that more I'm sharing my story, more I get people around which have similar roads or turnarounds in their life, and I just see that my mission is not only like to be a entrepreneur, but also like a good mentor for other entrepreneurs or managers in my friends network, or just actually random people who comes after some of my appearance on some stage or anywhere. So and I start to think, not only think, but do more in my daily life routines.
Can you tell me what do you do?
One important part is breathing. In the mornings, also meditation. Also, which kind of seems nothing new or everyone is doing that, but to have very specific and clear targets in my life, and not being ashamed that maybe they are not big enough for others, and not even thinking about it, because every one of us have our own way to achieve things. So yeah, to have a clear head, what do I want from life, from career, from family life, to be happy with yourself, and then to in the end of the day say that like, okay, I did everything on the best way, and I couldn't do it better. So and for that I believe there's like a more clear schedule or like plan you have for that, and the end target is more clear, like it's easier to do it, and it just clarifies your path, and every decision making actually is going according to that target. So it makes it much easier, because like previously, when you don't have, and I didn't have clear understanding like exactly where do I want to go, every decision making is like, well, if I do that, maybe it will help my business, but it won't go according to my friends or whatever, like, or some other's opinion, or when you have clear vision what is that what you want to get? Like you just look at it, like for that purpose, this decision I have to make, and there's just less questions to myself.
Yeah, absolutely. As being in a leadership position, as being a leader, and you have always and will have always team and people behind you, how do you make sure that they have a very transparent and communicated vision of your goals in terms of the business?
To understand anyone else, the best way is to ask the questions and open questions and willingness to hear any answer. And even the one which is not kind of satisfying for you. And if you're able to do that, then I believe you can get the feedback. And if you are willing to work for a growth of the company or of the bubble, it doesn't matter actually. So you get the feedback, and if you're ready to work with it, then you are going step by step upwards. So I believe that's the most important. You just ask the questions, and you are interested in an answer, then you can solve and you can like turn any situation in a better situation. And even if it goes to like, I don't know, someone is leaving the bubble, the company, it happens. It's not the end of the day. You just have to take your learnings and then change something if you believe you did something not the best way, and just change the next thing and going up. And I don't see any other ways. Is
Absolutely.
working.
What is your experience with well-being in terms of the corporate well-being?
In here, to be honest, like I see myself more as a startup person, and I feel best in like first steps of the companies. I'm not that much a corporate person, but I have been in corporate structures in my early career. So and there, because of the system, there was like this. Different, mostly HR initiatives to think about well-being of employees and increase the loyalty, and then to decrease the turnover of the employees. And there had a different initiatives, but I think it's also very important that because I saw in my experience that there were situations where these initiatives were detached from management mentality, and this is where the trust in these initiatives like decrease, and you don't there is initiative, but you don't feel that it's really like for your well-being. It's just because they need it. And so that's an important thing I learned in early in my career. So in as later in Asia company, we grew significant size, over 100 people team. So we needed to introduce the different initiatives as well. But when the company is growing very quickly, then it's also like much harder, because like the deadlines for emerging
Business.
tasks and everything is like following you on every step, and then you usually think more about like growth, and then on all those of aspects. But we try to implement also like kind of communication and then gathering part with the team, and understanding like what is making clear for them what is our aim for the company, where we are going, and how exactly that person can help us to contribute, yes, to achieve these goals. So that's the big part of leadership you have to invest in.
Yeah, and we are coming back again to the idea of well-being begins from leadership.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's the head up needs to be clear, transparent, see the goal, and then communicate things down, not other ways. Okay, excellent. So the question would be, let's imagine you need to introduce well-being now in the organization that you are building or organization you're helping, but this is your responsibility. Where would you start with the budget, and who will be involved in making decision of introducing well-being into the company?
I will start with who should be involved,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can move to the budget. I believe that most of the top management should be involved. Let's start with HR. They are the ones which can kind of bring the topic on the table and kind of feel the average temperature in company, and is the main peer which supports team in different HR and let's say well-being topics. So they are the ones which are kind of middle men between the management and employees. Then the important part would be also the finance, which helps actually identify the difference in performance on the financial metrics. So the company can understand like the gains and losses from performance. So if the well-being is introduced and the employees are more enthusiastic and more motivated, like what would be the potential income for the company. So I believe the big part would be for the finance team to be involved, and also direct departments managers, let's say like the sales team, if we talk about the sales personnel, which help to identify more precise, not that much financial KPIs, but like the daily metrics which each of the person employee set kind of reach or not reaching, and then what the impact of different initiatives in well-being or motivation initiatives. So that helps to the HR team and the management team, which is let's say CEO or a board, if there is one, to understand that each department, each employee metrics and changes in different initiatives. So not everything is measurable in the numbers, but on the same time, it's important to understand like how in a short term and also in a long term can change the company's performance, introducing different new initiatives. So, and I believe ideally it's if it's possible to work on some kind of scoring system where you understand, okay, like if we invest that amount of money, this is like the impact we are getting, and if it's possible to do maybe some test approaches and to see how it works, and to get like the direct feedback from employees, but also like to see how it works on daily routine tasks and initiatives from employees. So what I mentioned before, like the very important part from team is that they are proactive. And every employee of the team is coming with innovative things and helpful things for the company. So let's say gain for the company also, like from the finance perspective, and all the other like metrics, which is daily, as I said, like daily tasks, daily routine work, which you can measure, and after that you can also measure the financial impact, and then based on that you can actually make decision like what's the budget you can invest in it. It's in the end of the day, the every business main target is to earn money. So it means that like we have to thinking about everything and thinking about the philosophy and values which we want to introduce in our company. We still have to think about earning the money. So it has to be financially reasonable, these decisions. So as possible to put it in the metrics and understand the real impact of each well-being initiative.
So, and that's why the part of our partnership as a well-being partner to the company, we help to measure if company is not measuring yet the retention rate, we're measuring sick leave rate. So the reason why we decided to do a program from 3 to 12 months, it's not because we want a solid founded contract. It's because we are convinced that within 1 month, I cannot prove to the company that well-being actually started to work. I can prove it only after 3 months or 6 months. And how we say in 3 months, we increase engagement. We promise that some engagement will definitely improve. After 6 months, we will see that sick leaves, the psychosomatica will reduce. And after 12 months, we will see that the culture will start changing. Yeah, and why we created also this measurable platform, we actually participated in hackathon. We've been running together with Startup Accelerator, who dramatically helped us to package Meloria itself.
Mhm.
And in our platform, this is exactly what we do. We measure, we show you monthly results, and we see if the team temperature starts to decrease, that we're doing the right thing.
Mhm.
But if team temperature is not changing or opposite increasing, then we have to do some other mentions like coaching, like where sometimes it's psychotherapy, and see maybe these things are not actually a company issues, they could be outside of company issues. So it all relates, but that's how our approach in Meloria is.
Absolutely makes sense.
And the last question I will ask you, my favorite question. So, if you personally would like to share your vision to the corporate well-being, how would you see it as interpreter? Let's dream, let's fantasize, How does it look, corporate well-being, for you?
Very good question. It starts what I already mentioned. Management or the leader can be very open and clear in every stage, starting from onboarding process, continuing in a whole company development process. Uh, can be very clear on vision, but the vision in real life, not the vision on the board. So it significantly improves the kind of match between every team member and leaders or the owners of the company which want to achieve something. So this requires a very high level honesty from company management and owners. So, but that what it gives back is a best match of team members in a team, and that's already like a big part of engagement from the team. So if you see that, or if you as me as an employee, for example, I feel engagement with the values of the company. I see that it's really like implemented in everyday's daily life in a company, in the targets, in communication, in taking care of employees. So that you see that it's real, it really improves or like significantly like raises the my understanding or my daily valuation of myself if I am employee. So every day I go home and I have feeling that I have done something significant, and I think it's like the most important part for every human being to feel significant. And as we are spending most of our time in a work, more than we are spending with the family, then that's super important environment where we can feel or get that feeling. I would start with the very basics, which is like the very clear vision from the owners and the employees, and then it actually kind of like from that point all the rest is coming based on values and kind of understanding of the company owners and management. There can be the ones who really are interested in different well-being things, initiatives, and that's very big part of their kind of like culture. And other companies which are more efficiency based, and they say that like, okay, like we are more hardworking and
But be honest, be transparent, tell
Exactly.
what you're expecting
Exactly.
from people.
Exactly. And then like the same kind of mindset people can come and do the work and be hardworking, and no one tells like I wouldn't want to mislead with this terminology like hardworking, because I believe everyone can be hardworking. It's important to find the balance. So if you have a balance, it doesn't mean like you're not working hard. Actually, you're working more effective. So like to point actually that one thing that which is very important. This comes to honesty. So and this is one of the hardest thing for everyone, to be honest. And I have in my previous experience I have failed on that as well, and I have paid my price for not being honest to myself and at the same time to the others. So, and when we come to this clarity that while you are hiding some parts of yourself to yourself, you cannot really succeed like your full potential in any matter of your life. So, yeah, that's why I would like light out this one metric or one aspect, which is like honesty to yourself, and it comes actually from the very top of the company. And then if they are honest, then all the rest is following, and then it really brings a good culture in the company and also well-being.
And it brings around by example, right?
Exactly.
Okay, guys, if you are watching us, and you have experience with trusting yourself and being honest with others, please give us your comment and leave us your experience about it. Thank you so much. Thank you for this open and fantastic conversation.
Thank you very much for inviting me. See you. Bye.